Hello and welcome back to Substream News. Today's theme is planning for the future, and since I'm planning for you to be a future subscriber if you're not already, I'm going to whiz right past the whole pitch. Let's get on with our first story. Now, Elon Musk, whose name comes up frighteningly often here on SNN, is preparing for the 2026 launch of the Tesla Optimus humanoid product. Yes, these are human-like robots that can basically take on functions of humans. And there are some already made, and they are working in Tesla's factory, handling batteries and carrying things around and doing little tasks, stuff like that. Now, they are being produced now in 2024 and will continue to be produced in 2025, but they will not be publicly available until 2026, primarily for business use. But we'll see what happens. And remember, there are other rivals in this space who already have humanoid robots and who are going to be major rivals for Tesla. Now, one of the interesting things I found during this story is that Elon Musk is quoted as believing there is demand for 20 billion, with a B, humanoid robots around the globe. For me, that seems a bit excessive. 20 billion, that's 2.5 times the world's global population. Do we need 2.5 robots per person? Probably not. Probably more like 1 per family. But who knows? I might be wrong and I could be way off the mark. One of us is. And Elon usually gets this stuff more right than I do. Now, if you're interested in robot development and all things in that space, as always, we always include our sources in the video description. So, if you want to read more about this topic, go and click on that link. But I can save you some time and trouble by telling you the end of that article, which is the 6 main rivals to Tesla Optimus, which is the 1X, Agility, Apptronic, Boston Dynamics, Figure, and Sanctuary AI, and we've layered the images over the screen so you could enjoy them. Which is your favorite one just from those pictures? Let me know in the comments, and let's move on to the next story. Now, you may notice I'm indoors. Usually I'm out recording in the park or by the beach or somewhere, but I couldn't plan for unpredicted weather patterns. That's what happened. It rained heavily and is kind of still drizzling. Now, another company that is trying to predict the future, who knows whether it will be successful or not, is Spotify. And what they're doing is planning for a new product launch that they believe a subsection of their subscribers, their paying subscribers, would like to pay extra for. Let me explain. Yes, I'm talking about Spotify Deluxe. Now, 3 years ago, they teased the idea of introducing hi-fi sound to Spotify, but they still haven't done it. So those who are interested in a deluxe version should expect hi-fi sound, as well as some other features such as lossless audio, which is a way of compressing files without losing quality, advanced library management, more AI-powered playlists, and greater level of optimization for headphone sound quality. You already have the equalizer, but it will go much further than that, we can assume. These are just speculations from the community. The price also is a speculation based on quotes from Daniel Ek, CEO of Spotify, and is expected to be $17 to $18 per month. I've got a great quote here from Daniel Ek. He says, it will be a deluxe version of Spotify that has all of the benefits that the normal Spotify version has, but a lot more control, a lot higher quality across the board, and some other things that I'm not ready to talk about yet. Now, that's a pretty good quote, pretty clear. Now, he also revealed they have 246 million paying subscribers. That's actually incredible. That's something like 3% of the world's population, if my maths are correct. And he believes that a pretty substantial percentage of that would be happy to pay a few more dollars to improve access to the world's music library. I mean, it is a fantastic app. If you didn't know, why was Spotify born? Here's a fun fact. It was to solve music piracy. And it did a pretty good job. How often do you have to pirate music? Not often. You either listen to ads or pay for a subscription. That's it. Spotify did a great job. It saw the future and it solved a problem. My question to you, substreamers, would you pay $18 for a supercharged Spotify account? Let me know. Let's move on. Now, Rupert Murdoch, who I was kind of surprised to discover is still alive, he's ancient, the 93-year-old media mogul, tycoon, billionaire, still alive, and has just made changes to his will. This is juicy. We covered a story about Warren Buffett not long ago. Now it's Rupert Murdoch's turn. This story is quite interesting. He's got 4 kids who had an equal split or an equal say in his estate. And his estate's worth almost 20 billion US dollars, which is a staggering amount. But he's decided to give it all to one child. Now, if you've seen HBO's Succession, which I haven't, but everyone tells me is pretty good, that series allegedly is based on the Murdoch family and the fight among his children to get his inheritance. So a massive congratulations in the tune of $20 billion to Lachlan Murdoch, his eldest son, who will get the lot, which is just incredible. Now, obviously, his brothers and sisters, a little bit jilted, not too happy about that, are actually planning to take their very old dad to court, which is... I can sympathise with both sides, right? So why? Why on earth, at the age of 93, would you amend your will and instead of sharing it equally amongst your kids, give it all to one? And it's down to political beliefs. Now, I'm sure many families out there have people on both sides of the political spectrum, and or at dinners and family meetups, arguments can happen about politics. That's normal. But, I would not want to be a Murdoch right now. Yes, so the term that's being used here is that the 3 children who are not getting this inheritance are more politically moderate than Lachlan. Lachlan more reflects Rupert Murdoch's ideals. And if you know anything about the press and media and how much of a tyrant this guy is, you'll know what that means. I'm not going to spell it out. Yeah. He wants his succession to be handled by somebody with the same political views so that they can maintain the journalistic standard across all of his media empire. Let's move on to the next story. That is how ChatGPT might sound one day if some tech analysts and experts are correct. Total gibberish and nonsense. Why? Why would ChatGPT, this useful AI assistant that helps millions of people, suddenly turn to gobbledygook? Let's find out. Okay, so there's something in the AI world called AI model collapse, or just model collapse, and I'm going to give you a definition of this so that you can try and keep up with the story, because it was a little confusing to me too. So, model collapse refers to a phenomenon where machine learning models gradually degrade due to errors coming from uncurated training on synthetic data, meaning the outputs of another model, including prior versions of itself. That's my little acting voice there. So in short, it's when an AI fails to learn properly, and it can have completely fatal, disastrous consequences. Let me explain further. So ChatGPT gets its information from you, from its users, from the people who use it. And what would then happen if it was fed information that was created by AI? That, therefore, is not new information. That starts to create a dangerous cycle. And this is a pretty crude example, but it's similar to how inbreeding affects human genetics and how a smaller gene pool creates birth defects and complications. And the same thing happens to AI. It's not getting enough raw, synthetic, new information or genetic, genetic information. And so, it starts to just fall apart and talk nonsense. Now, there's a second internet theory. So if you're planning for a future with a wonderful internet, you might have to think again. This is the dead internet theory, and it kind of is already happening. Dead internet theory is where most activity, if not all activity, is handled by bots, and all content is being created by AI. And basically all algorithms are doing is controlling people and narratives. Doesn't that sound oddly familiar? Are we not on that path already? Guys, sub-streamers, I really want to know, do you think either of these are going to happen? Do you think model collapse for ChatGPT is inevitable? And do you think a dead internet could happen? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Let's move on to our final story. Now, if you're planning for the very near future, i.e. dinner, you might not want to go to Ohio because you might just choke on your boneless wings. Yes, this is a weird and wonderful story from the USA. It turns out that the Ohio Supreme Court has declared that boneless wings do not need to be boneless. Where to even begin? Well, how about a lawsuit? Yes, a gentleman went to a restaurant, he ordered boneless wings, and he choked on a bone. And he got some complications, he got quite unwell, and so he decided to sue. And you'd think that's an easy win. But there's a part 2 to this story that I really love. The court made the wonderful point that I had overlooked, is that boneless wings are not wings. So boneless and wings, neither of the words really matter. And the restaurant even said it's just a cooking style. It's not a guarantee of being bone-free. Well, we're getting into the nitty-gritty here. And I'm sorry to the guy who lost the court case, but I think that's a great way to finish this video. Substreamers, thank you so much for watching. Like the guy in the video, please chew your food. Be safe crossing the road. And if you need a humanoid robot, check out Tesla and the other ones that I mentioned. It's been a pleasure. I'm Joseph, your presenter, and I'll see you on the next video. Until then, bye-bye.